Once again, no introduction necessary for the next one. We took part in GDevelop's 8th Big Game Jam, spanning from the 7th until the 16th of November 2025. The theme this time was Take Control. Since this jam took place just after Halloween, our idea was to play as a ghost and go around possessing, aka taking control of people. And since we came to this conclusion on day 3 of the jam, we decided to make a brotato clone, even if we suspected that won't be a good idea. You go around possessing mobs, and then you can either use their attacks to eliminate other mobs for a single soul, or sacrifice the control mob at the altar for 10. The mob designs are completely original without using any other game character's inspiration because we are very creative. Not every character can attack, and some are not possessable. Here's a list of all the characters. Average Joe has no attack, basically exists so that the arena doesn't get flooded with projectiles. Peasants have a short range pitchfork attack. Hunters have the longest range and slowest attack speed. Knights have no attack and the highest movement speed. Warlocks have a slow attack speed, but have an area of effect attack if it doesn't hit anything. Priests, a holy character that can destroy the ghost. This is something that all holy mobs share. If the ghost is destroyed, you respawn at the altar after a few seconds. Bears, elite characters have 2 hit points and can be possessed if it takes 1 damage. They have the highest attack speed and the shortest range. Ogres, also elite mobs and have a long range axe throw. Paladins are the only elite and holy characters in the game. They don't spawn as often, but they're very dangerous. And finally, the Grand Inquisitor, the boss of the game. Once you have 800 souls, he will spawn and cannot be destroyed. He has 3 orbs spinning around him and has a medium attack range. Every mob will walk around and only attack possessed creatures, not the ghost. Which is not the case for all holy mobs that will always chase the player. The game balancing is something that could have been better by making some mobs worth more when sacrificed or just by being eliminated. But to keep things more interesting and rewarding, when you start the game, only average Joes and peasants spawn. The more souls you collect, more advanced characters start spawning. Once you reach 1000 souls, you win the game. We planned for a massive monster to spawn at the altar that you can possess and destroy the Grand Inquisitor, but it was cut out due to time constraints. And so far, this game had the best tutorial, where it forced you to learn the sacrifice mechanics before you start the game. As mentioned before, we compose and record all the sound effects for our games, and that was always done a few hours before the deadline, so it lacks quality. But this time we took asset sounds we own and just slapped a ton of reverb on them. And for the music, by this time I was obsessed with Megadev. All that shredding helped me stay locked in. So if you're also a fan, you may or may not notice that the bass line has a slight resemblance to Peace Cells and Symphony of Destruction. I mean, I just copied the notes and made it faster. I didn't use the actual bass track. We submitted the game 3 hours and 14 minutes before the deadline. We actually finished earlier for once because of prior engagements. There were a total of 341 submissions, slightly less than in the previous Big Jam. Our game, With You in Spirit, placed 38th overall.